Boopity bop. Alrighty, well, we still have a bazillion freaking support conversations to do out here. My goodness, freaking people want to talk up the yin-yang. Let's see. One of you needed to A+ support the other, didn't they? I think? Hinoka, I have a favor to ask. I want you to give me lessons. Lessons in what? Assassination. Up until now, I was afraid to ask for your help with fighting. I thought I'd only be in your way if we trained together. Sakura, I don't think like that. After our talk the other day, I want to try harder. I want you to trade me for battle. You're serious? I never thought you'd say that. I want you to be able to count on me, Hinoka. Okay, in that case, I'll be serious too. You have to do something for me in return. Well, what's that? Sacrifice freaking virgins into a volcano. In exchange for training you, I want you to teach me how to treat injuries. Go easy on me. Remember, I'm not going to be on your level. Hinoka, I love to. Oh, what's going on? Why are you hugging me? Well, and going through the comments on that video, Eagle found a comment going, don't buy their garbage, so they'll actually put effort in. I mean, the whole situation about comments on that video has been a very mixed bag, to say the least. Did Hinoka need to A+ support either of them? Hold on a hot second. Where's my spreadsheet? We were going through so many tabs on that freaking rant that we were going on earlier. Like, I don't even remember anything anymore. So it looks like Azura wanted to A+ Sakura for Shrine Maiden because... Oh yeah, because she was originally going to A+ support Hinoka for Spear Fighter, but I recently found out that it doesn't transfer over that way, and now it just give Azura Sky Knight, even though she already has Sky Knight, so Sakura is the only A+ that Azura can even get here anyway. My pinned comment has 69 replies. You know, I recently found out something very interesting about, like... Oh, it looks like you've already A+ here. I've recently found out something very interesting about some specific numbers like that on YouTube. If you look up the freaking clip from Avengers Infinity War on YouTube of perfectly balanced, as all things should be, you will find that the like to dislike ratio is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. The last I checked, it was 892,000 likes and 292,000 likes and 292,000 dislikes. It's perfectly balanced, as all things should be. So if you ever want to find a YouTube video on the platform with as close to a 50-50 split between likes and dislikes as you can, just look up that Avengers Infinity War clip of perfectly balanced as all things should be, and you will find an either basically perfectly even or very darn close split of likes and dislikes on that video. It's hilarious. I love that that's a thing. I only found out about that like a week ago and it cracked me up. It's so good. Hold on. Hinoka wants to A+ support Sakura, looks like. Oh yeah, just in case she ever wanted to go into like Dark Falcon for whatever reason, for Tome Fair, I guess. And Sakura wanted to A+ Hana. But it seems like Hinoka is going to be A+ing Sakura. But yeah, currently at 293 for likes and dislikes. Isn't that great? Isn't that like one of the greatest things? Let's see here. So Hinoka can go ahead and A+ Sakura like that. And then if we go into inventory, yeah, this is a freaking long session of just reading things out, isn't it? Like, my goodness gracious. One day we might get back to playing the tactical game that Fire Emblem is supposed to be, but maybe not for a while. Yeah, Amiyoji to Priestess. So if for whatever reason I want to like slap Hinoka into a Dark Falcon, we can always give her like Tome Fair or something, which could be spicy to say the least. But yeah, anyways, bedtime, med time. Is that supposed to say bedtime? Well, I do appreciate you stopping by though, Eagle. Let's see here. Did Hana and Sakura get to their... Oh, they can get to their thingamabob right now, because I know that Sakura wanted to A+ Hana. Hana, I'm sorry for my abrupt departure while we were talking before. Yeah, I thought that was a typo. I don't understand what any of this stuff means. I'm sorry. It's okay, Sakura. But I really want to know why you fought so hard for me to be your retainer. Not knowing has been killing me. I figured you would still want to know. With how I left things hanging, I can only imagine your suspense. The reason is, I knew I could really trust you. I didn't just believe I could. You've proven yourself over and over. Because you carry scars from so many times that you got between me and danger. Your wounds are healed, but the scars from those events remain. Like the time I was climbing a tree while we were out exploring. A branch broke and I fell, but you softened the blow by trying to catch me. Or the time a wild dog attacked us and you protected me when it lunged to bite. Each time you were injured, and you did it even though you weren't obligated to. Sakura. I feel bad for the pain and suffering you've endured in my place. But back then, it told me that you'd protect me no matter what happened. So you were feeling guilty over my injuries. Whew, it's a relief to hear that. What do you mean? Were you concerned? Yes, I was worried that I may have done something to trouble you. But why wait until today to tell me? You could have told me this before. I guess I just felt uncomfortable mentioning the scars. Bringing up old wounds and reminding you of injuries you'd suffered for me. I saw one of your old scars the other day, and it brought all those memories back.
I almost read that as memes. It brought back all those memes.
You worry too much about that.
Did I mention that freaking in my stream last night, one of the people that stopped by we started having a conversation about the great meme war of 1969 or whatever it was. And it was the fated war where the freaking, with the power of Ligma, the TikTokers finally beat the Rickrollers. Or it was the other way around. Whatever. You don't need to worry about that. So I wear these scarves with pride. To a samurai, injuries in service are like badges of honor. Each one means that I've done my job well and protected you from danger.
Thank you, Hana. Really. It's alright. I realize how much you care about me now. So thank you too, Sakura. You'll always be my best friend.
Well, hello, Hawks. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty alright. Yeah, we're still doing a reading simulator out here.
And Sakura wanted to A+ Hana to get access to the samurai line was a thing. So if we go into inventory and Sakura checks her thingamabob now with a friendship seal, then yeah, now she has access to Swordmaster, so she can potentially get some skills like Vantage and Astra. Most importantly, Astra. I very much like me some Astra. That's a very nice skill to have, to say the least. And Hana, I think, wanted to A+ support somebody else, I think. Yes, Setsuna. Oh yeah, because she wanted to bass down Bowfair we established earlier. Yes. Kaden. Oh yeah, didn't you two want to A+ support each other? Search around the Discord and have screenshots of the pandemic comments saved. Oh, that we were talking about earlier. Way too funny. Sorry, both colors were blue, and I read that as freaking Hawks for a hot second. But I just woke up and hear our stream at such a late hour. Yeah, it was gonna be early today, but then things got out of hand, and I wound up helping family and friends with a few different things throughout the day, and now we're here late at night instead. But yeah, this was more to searching up on the Discord and have screenshots of the pandemic comment. Way too funny, as we were talking about earlier. That's like my favorite YouTube comment I've ever received. It was certainly something. Hey Anada, I want to thank you for taking me out hiking the other day. Thanks to you, I'm feeling back to my old self again. No problem, buddy. I'm glad to hear it. You got better awfully quick, though. Any particular reason, you think? Well, I think all the exercise you put me through probably helped a bit. But I think the main thing that helped were those berries you gave me. The berries? How? Those are the same berries that grow around my hometown. I'd completely forgotten about them at the time, but I remembered it later. It made me feel good, knowing I got a little taste of my home way out here. It makes it feel like my friends aren't so far away anymore, you know? I see. So that explains it. Yep, and to return the favor, I brought you a whole basket of them, freshly picked. Want to eat them together? Sure, thanks. Chomp chomp munch munch. Oh man, these are the best, right? I have to admit, the ones back home had a unique color to them. They were even brighter and more beautiful than these. Once the war is over, I'm gonna go back home and eat every one I see. Sure you're not just getting homesick again? Huh, am I? I don't think so. I'm not sad. I just can't wait to go home again. I think you're okay then. Let's do our best to end this war so you can go home as soon as possible. Thanks, but you'll have to come too. We'll have a feast of berries together. Of course, wouldn't miss it for the world, my friend. Alright, let me double check my thingamabob. I think these two are A+ing one another. Let me double check here. So yeah, Hinata is going to A+ Kaden, and since he cannot get the freaking Kitsune, or whatever the heck, I keep forgetting how it's pronounced, line, that means he's going to get Diviner, which should give him Rend Heaven, or whatever that one skill name is. So if he goes ahead and A+'s, that should give him... No. That should give him access to the thing that I think it gives him access to. Yep. Sure does indeed. Nice. And then if Caden also A pluses Hinata like that, and we go check here, that should give you access to the Samurai line, and then skills like Astra that are pretty nice. Look at that. Nice. Nice, nice. You love to see it. Okay. Okay, we're getting our A plus supports hammed out here. Bit by bit. It's a slow, monotonous process. This is probably going to be like the last massive group of support conversations that we do throughout this playthrough. Actually, wait. Once child units come into play, it'll at least for sure be the last adult one within Birthright. There's still other routes that we'll do down the line and stuff. Man, this is going to be a long series, isn't it? My goodness. That we're probably going to take breaks between playthroughs of, because that's the thing that we did with 3 houses as well. Thanks for going shopping with me, Caden. I had a great time. No problem. Glad I was able to pay you back for that delicious candy. So, were you able to find everything you needed? Would you like to leave a review, or did you find everything you needed and are satisfied with your customer service? Yo, freaking at PetSmart for a while, they don't ask this question anymore. But the question, this was just before the pandemic, the question that the cashiers, I guess, were required to ask was, as you're checking out, they ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you rate us a 10 out of 10 for service today? And it's a yes or no question. And it's like, that's very much seems like the kind of question that, you know, they just ask people to, like, get, like, the natural impulse of, like, yes, or yeah, sure, yada yada, because people don't want to say no, because it sounds like, no, it was all awful, and yada yada. And they do that to make themselves seem better and be like, oh, when asked if our customers would rate us on a scale of 1 to 10, so many customers said 10 out of 10, when what they're really asking is, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you rate us 10 out of 10 for service today? And I hated that question so much. That's, like, the worst question, that's my least favorite question a cashier has ever asked me in my life, and it always made me uncomfortable, because, like, freaking, it's absolutely not a 10 out of 10 service there a lot of the time. Most of the time, I make more of an effort to be, like, friendly than the freaking staff do there. Like, I go to PetSmart to get, like, freaking crickets for my gecko and stuff like that, and I'll have somebody come by looking to help me and be like, what can I do for you? And I'll try to make, like, a joke and, you know, be fun and stuff like that, and I'll be like, I need some bugs. Like, I need some bugs for my gecko, you know? And they'll just be like, yeah, I totally rate you 10 out of 10 for service today. Yep. Yes, thank goodness. My go-to armor was starting to show its age. When I, as the customer, put more effort into being friendly than the staff, that's not a good sign. Thanks to you, I was able to find what I needed in a flash. Though, to be fair, I am, you know, when I tried to be way friendlier than most would be, because I figured, like, hey, these people are doing their freaking 9 to 5s or whatever the heck, I may as well try to, like, cheer them up a bit and, like, be friendly, like they're trying their best. But a lot of people just, like, freaking treat me like I'm some weirdo for trying to do that, and it's, like, hard for me to do that because I have social anxiety, and I usually wouldn't want to put myself in those kinds of situations, but I do because I know what it's like to be in freaking customer service, and people are assholes, and so I try to be friendly and lift people's days up and freaking whatever. Thanks to you, I was able to find what I needed in a flash. You made the right call when you decided to take me along. After all, no one in the whole world has an eye for aesthetics quite like mine. You're too much, Caden. Really though, I was impressed by your attention to detail. I wish I had such a keen eye for quality craftsmanship. Yeah, I'm pretty awesome like that. It was so much fun too. You're funny when you're shopping and your face is all like that. Oh, and ah. Well, I'm glad to hear I amused you. Today was a success for both of us. Great success! Sure was. So, would you say my debt has been paid now? Oh, absolutely. Thanks again. Anytime. Man, it feels great to finally be appreciated. Oh, that reminds me. I forgot to buy that thing before we left. What's that? Did you forget something? Huh? Oh, nothing. Don't mind me. I was just thinking out loud. Okay, if you say so. What do you bet the A support as we give him the thing he wanted to buy? Hey, do you think we could hang out again sometime soon? Something I want to show you. Sure thing, anytime. That's a promise. See you later, Harmonia. There's something I'd like to show you. It's 10 incredible facts about the anus. That Caden, what a character. I wonder what he wants to show me. It's probably not that. But yeah, it'll make 500 parts on YouTube just reading. I don't think the length of this series is going to be longer than our 3 Houses series. It has potential to be. I don't think it will be, though. I do not think it will be. I hope. But yeah, wonder who Corrin goes to for his/her designer armor, because that must be expensive hail. A freaking armor that you can, like, transform into a dragon with. But yeah. Yeah, I know it's a joke, but, like, it might actually have the potential to exceed, not 500 parts, but it does have a slight potential to exceed the length of the Three Houses series. I don't think it will, but depending on how things go, it can potentially, honestly. We'll see how things go. What do you think, Ryoma? Good day, Ryoma. Would now be a good time to chat? Ah, Harmonia. Yes, I suppose I have some time right now. But where to begin? Perhaps I could start with the siblings. Like little Hinoka, the crybaby. Hinoka, a crybaby? I can't see it. Yes, well, she has matured tremendously. Now she's an excellent model soldier, and something is going on with my throat, jeez. I don't know, what the heck. Takumi, on the other hand, has not reached the same level of maturity. You see, Takumi is quite the little bitch, but Takumi seems so strong and self-assured. Perhaps, but remember that very hard substances are often brittle. Takumi's emotions are fragile. He needs to work on his mental fortitude. That said, I believe in him. I think he has a promising future ahead. I see. As for Azura, she's always been a bit distant, even as a child. She's kind and wise, but I wish she knew how to open up a little bit. It's fascinating to hear your perspective like this. Please, continue. Certainly. Let's see, where was I? Ah, Sakura. She's a gentle soul, always worrying about others. My hope for her is that she can learn to be a bit more selfish. It would serve her well. Thank you, Ryoma. I really appreciate your insights. I think it's wonderful that you spent so much time thinking about your family. Well, as the eldest, I suppose I feel a certain responsibility. And of course, I spend a great deal of time in self-reflection. I'm not without my faults. Like my throat problems. Well, you're human. Nobody's perfect. But you are a wise and caring older brother, Ryoma. Everyone looks up to you. Thank you, Harmonia. That means a lot coming from you. I just wish I knew more about my own background. Yes, your story is a troubling one. Inigo Montoya, whose story is you killed my father, prepared to die. I hope that I can help you put a few of the pieces together. But I'm afraid even I don't know nearly the whole of it. Thank you, Ryoma. I really appreciate it. Anytime, Harmonia. Well, probably get close to the same amount of parts of Three Houses at the highest. Probably at the highest. Because, yeah, it has split up into a lot of parts. I don't think it'll get up that high. Something that I have tried to do with this series is I keep a portraits folder in my thingamabob here. In my project here that I keep for the series and such. Yeah, this game will be more fun in some ways, at least. In a lot of ways. At least I'm not as miserable as in Three Houses, considering how tired I am of that game. But in my folder, for like my thumbnails for Three Houses and stuff that I work on here, and yada yada, I have a folder literally called Portraits. And I amassed as many of official arts, freaking heroes arts, and arts from apparently this comic that was called 4 Coma, that there was like some official thing done, or like some guidebook or something that was done for Fire Emblem Fates that included like a whole bunch of other arts and yada yada. And there's 156 portraits in this, and I do want to have like on the thumbnail of every episode in this series one of these portraits of somebody like that's important to that episode and yada yada. After I spent like so many hours amassing this freaking 156 for like anybody that has any chance of like being important in any one of the episodes. And the thing is, with the way things are going, I know that there's no way that I can avoid reusing portraits like across playthroughs and such, especially by the time that we get around to Revelations, because I've already gone through like 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 2 in like several cases for like different people's portraits and stuff like that. So there's absolutely no way that I could avoid reusing portraits across different playthroughs, but I should have enough portraits amassed here that within each playthrough of Birthright, Conquest, and Revelations, within those individual playthroughs, I should be able to have a different character portrait on every single thumbnail for like every single episode of each playthrough without reusing a single one within that playthrough. By the time that we get to Conquest and Revelations, we would have to like reuse ones from Birthright. By the time we get to Revelations, we would have to reuse ones that I already use in both Birthright and Conquest. But if everything goes the way that I plan, I should be able to make it through this entire freaking series, or each playthrough on its own, without ever reusing a single portrait in any of the individual playthroughs, at least. So there's that. That's one goal, and something that has proven a little bit tricky. So when it comes to there being a lot of parts, that's an interesting thing about it. So whenever, like, I look through my portraits folder whenever I'm making thumbnails for this series, like, what portraits have I not used yet? And if I drag it onto the project and notice that it's already in the media bin, I'll be like, okay, I've already used that one. But if I drag in one and see that, like, it's something new added to the media bin, I'll be like, okay, I haven't used that one. This is promising. And I'll, like, scan through each part, especially the support conversations ones. Like, who were there some support conversations with who I could, like, slap on the thumbnail for this video to make, like, my thumbnail better? And, well, that's how it goes, essentially. But yeah, I swear after this game, my throat would hurt as if I was doing a 24-hour stream. My goodness, yeah, there's a lot of reading sometimes, to say the least. Well, good old Silas over here has them supports. Hurrah! Well, Hi there, Arboro. Come to do some training. Sure. I've heard the Hashidan style of swordplay is unrivaled. I'd love to learn more of it. How about some friendly sparring to test our skills? Pass. Whoa, that face really says it all. You really don't want to spar with me, huh? It's nothing personal. I hate all Norians equally. Just thinking of them gets my blood boiling. And my throat breaking. I don't know what's going on with it. Then maybe I'll relax a little if you turn out not to be so bad. Alright, I guess I can't fault you, what with the bad blood between our nations. But let's put that anger to use. We could still do some sparring. Not a good idea. As angry as I am, I'd probably kill you. I'm gonna go do something else now. Bye. That's strange. Well, I'm sure she has her reasons. I've had some people in my streams before just be like, I'm gonna go do something else now. Bye. I've had some really rude people in my streams before that are like, I'm bored. I'm gonna go do something else. It's like, someone's freaking doing their best streaming. Don't freaking go to your way to tell them that you're bored and that's why you're leaving, you know? Just freaking, you know, skedaddle. That's saying a word. Actually make the story slightly better as it expands on it more. For the FE Fates audio dramas? What audio dramas? What? Takumi learned from Saizo that Korn fought and killed Hashidans at the bottomless can before getting taken to Hashido? And Boris stopped being racist? What are these audio dramas? I actually don't know what you're talking about, I'm sorry to say. How long has the Dogi Cam been off? I turned it off for the display capture thingamabob a second ago. But yeah, Anima, you're gonna head to bed. Good night, guys. Alright, have a good night, Anima. I hope you sleep well and all that stuff. I have a bunch of stuff. My goodness gracious. Okay, I guess we're starting here, I suppose. Oh, what an exhausting day. I still haven't had dinner yet. That's like me every day, except like breakfast, I guess. Wonder if there's anything in the kitchen I can take back to my room. It's like me after every late night stream. Is there someone in here? Where, Luigi? Help! Someone is a demon! Oh, Lord Harmonia. Huh? Oh, it's only you. Whew. I must admit, it's a little creepy to see you in a dark room with only a single candle. Sorry. Boro, is everything okay? You were staring off into the woods for a moment. Yeah, everything's fine. I'm not convinced. Your attention was wandering last time too. Is something bothering you? Nothing that Lord Harmonia should concern himself with. Don't worry about that. You should keep your troubles bottled up inside. I don't mind listening, at least. Alright, since you insist. It's not a problem so much as a bad memory. When I was a kid, my parents ran a clothing shop in our village. We were out trading in Nor when bandits attacked and killed them both. I hid in the wagon. Unfortunately, the bandits didn't notice me. I really don't know what's going on with my freaking throat. I was thinking about hopping into the DLC map before Awakening after these support conversations, but I think that might have to wait for a time that like my throat is not bugging out and glitching here. My goodness, I never knew. It all happened on a moonless night, just like this one. I can't help but remember when the sky gets black. Too much reading, my dude, and tomorrow I'm gonna be spending the day commentating a Smash tournament, so it's gonna be a whole lot more speaking. I'm gonna be commentating another VGLS tournament. Can't help but remember when the sky gets black. which explains why your face was so stormy. I'm sorry, Aboro. Here I am, notionally a Norian, asking you to open up to me. It was insensitive. Not at all. You have nothing to feel guilty for, Lord Harmonia. It's the bandits who are to blame. They're fiends in human shape, right after she got done freaking harassing Silas for being a Norian. Aboro. Oh, I'm sorry. I got kind of carried away there, I guess. I'll, show myself out. That poor girl. Whalep? Whalep? Oh, looks like Tsubaki has a couple thingamabobs here. Tsubaki. Are you there, Tsubaki? Ah, Lord Harmonia. Good afternoon. What's your hurry? Ah, so I see the rumors were true. No, well. What rumors are you referring to exactly? Everyone has been talking about you eating so much. I heard that you've been constantly munching on something wherever you go. So I got a little worried and wanted to come and find you. No offense, but it really seems like you can't stop shoving food in your mouth. Oh, don't be ridiculous. There's no need to trouble yourself over me. But there is. You're my comrade. We need to look out for one another. Does this have anything to do with my overhearing your stomach growling? What do you mean? Okay, so clearly it does. Listen, this is the only way to make sure that my stomach never growls again. If I'm always eating, I'll never be hungry. Tsubaki, you can't keep eating like that. It's not healthy. Besides, it'll just make you get bigger and bigger. Then you won't be able to train anymore. I know you wouldn't want that to happen. Oh, don't you worry about me. I've already calculated how much food I need to stay in fighting shape. Right, but still, I'm concerned. I never meant to alarm anyone. Listen, if it really bothers you, I'll give up on my new fitness regimen. Good. Trust me, it's for the best. But what do I do now? I'd be horrified if someone ever heard of my stomach growl again. Why are you so worried about what other people think of you? That's a question I, myself personally, really need to be asked. My goodness. That's a question people need to start asking me. No one would ever judge you for something so trivial anyway. I could never talk about that with you, Lord Harmonia. Please, excuse me. There he goes again. I'd probably better follow him to make sure he doesn't do it. Doesn't get any other crazy ideas. I can't do it. There's a Setsuna one. Setsuna, why did you break away from the group back there? Back where? In the valley, where the recruits were practicing marching. They were marching in perfect unison when you suddenly broke off in another direction. Oh, that's because I saw some wild strawberries and mushrooms. See how tasty they look? Would you like a few? No, I think I'm good for now. But listen, you can't just go off and do things like that. You're a teacher. The new recruits are trying to learn from you, so you can't display bad habits. You could accidentally teach them to fall into traps, like you do. I am quite good at that. This time, nothing bad happened, but it may not always be that way. You have to take good care of your recruits. I'm sure my recruits will appreciate the food I found, though. Setsuna, you're leading them. You need to demonstrate leadership behavior. Good leadership behavior. You're saying I'm a leader? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you so much for the compliment, Tsubaki. No one has ever called me a leader. I'm not complimenting you, Setsuna. I'm saying you need to display leadership skills. It's our job to train these recruits. We have to work together. I'm counting on you. Okay, I'll try my best. I'll do my best, whatever. But yeah, I hope I'll not be playing this during that 24-hour stream at the end of the month. This will definitely kill the throat before it even begins. I mean, we have started... Our freaking tradition for the 24-hour charity streams that we've done so far has been starting out with Fire Emblem. So, I mean, it might well be. I wish you could be in whatever state of mind that Sun is in. It's certainly a mood and a half, isn't it? Yeah, let's just go through this stuff here, I guess. Oh, hello, Hana. Lord Harmonia. Sorry about what I said the other day. No need to apologize. I'm over it now. You are my commander, after all, Lord Harmonia. I respect your leadership. No, I want to apologize. It was simply rude of me to not even consider your feelings before speaking. Stop it. You're just making me look like someone deserving of pity. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I just thought that Sakura might be crushed if you did what your father did. That's all. Hey, Sakura, what are you talking about now? Before, you were mad at me for making Sakura cry. I can see why you'd respect your father for his sacrifice and want to honor him. But imagine if you died protecting your liege. Sakura would be crushed. She would never want that to happen, and she'd probably have trouble moving on. I can't stand thinking about a future like that, and I bet that you can't either, right? Well, I hadn't considered that. I understand it's a really important thing for a samurai to protect her master, but isn't there more to protecting your master than just the physical act? You're right. I don't want to see Sakura cry anymore either. That's Hana. I thought that was haha at first. That's all I was trying to convey before. I'm sorry I didn't do it well. It's okay, Lord Harmonia. Thank you for this conversation. Sorry I was so hostile towards you. No, it's fine. I think we've both grown from this. Okay, better have a bunch of water drink by my side then. Kind of like I do right now, and we're gonna briefly turn off my camera to actually swig, which I probably should have done earlier, because whoops. Okay, I think that helps me feel a little bit better. That water bottle is gonna come in very handy during the 24-hour stream in a stream. Let me tell you. Saizo, hello? If you're watching, come out so we can talk. Saizo! What do you think you're doing? Don't give my presence away like that. Ah, hello, Saizo. I knew you couldn't be far off. What are you playing at, calling upon your watchman? This is very irregular. I'm not playing at anything. I just never had the chance to thank you for carrying my things. To remedy that, I brought some mint candies. Would you like one? Candies. Is something wrong? Chocolate? Chocolate! I don't need your sweets. Eat them yourself. Sorry, I had no idea. This mask doesn't come off. I thought you might like them, but clearly I don't know you very well. My apologies, Saizo. I'll find someone else to share them with. Stop biting your lip that way. You make me feel guilty. That's easy for you to say, but... Alright, I'll come clean. What? I hate sweets. Really? Oh, come to think of it, I recall Ryoma mentioning that once. Oh yeah, wait! Isn't one of Saizo's things that he hates sweets and his freaking child unit loves sweets? Isn't that a thingamabob? I had completely forgotten. It's not as if they're poison, they're just not to my taste. If that's why you refuse the candy, is it safe to assume you don't hate me? I know you can't trust me because I was raised in enemy territory, but clinging to that conception of me is counterproductive. What the heck? It may take time before we reach a true understanding of each other, but until then, could you try to have faith in me? I'd already come to the same conclusion. What? My surveillance on you is over, effective today. You have free reign from now on. Does this mean you trust me? I wouldn't go that far. It just means I don't think a simpleton like you could be scheming anything. Simpleton? Don't hold back, Saizo. I'm glad you're starting to accept me, though. Still expect you to remain on your best behavior, of course. Of course, I wouldn't want to lose your trust now that we're friends. Friends? You get that idea? It seemed clear to me. Do you disagree? Think what you like. I'm leaving. Saizo. Oh, very well. If he's given me leave to think what I like, I'll consider us friends. Well, how dare you offer me sweets? I know, right? Hope you're doing well today, Puga Woogum. Welcome to Reading Simulator, I guess. Yep, yaha, you found me. Take this. That's an obscure reference to freaking Xenoblade fans. You're getting better. I can feel the strength behind your attacks. So take this. Oh, I could have literally referenced that early Xenoblade 2 trailer right there. Take this. The thing that was so bad that they removed it before the full game came out, thank goodness. My goodness. Welp. That won't work this time. What the? Well, Luigi. Did I just land a clean hit? Yeah, you finally got me. That's awesome. I guess this means we got some talking to do. Oh, are you actually going to tell me why you're training so hard then? The reason is, I'm working towards a goal. A goal? Yeah, it's Lord Takumi. My brother. What about him? See, I come from a long line of warriors who have served Toshido. Even before I learned to walk, I learned to use a katana. I learned quick too. I thought that being Lord Takumi's retainer would be easy too, but what? One day, he challenged me to a match. The rules were the same as ours. He even selected the katana as our weapon, so we'd be on equal terms. He absolutely destroyed me. You lost that badly? My head was spinning, he beat me so fast. Everyone knows Lord Takumi is skilled with a bow, but he's just as good with a katana. And I was so mad at myself for losing and for underestimating him. It was a big hit to my pride. How am I supposed to protect him if he can beat me? What was I even doing there? So I swore I'd become as strong as him. That's what drives me to train. Thanks for sharing your story, Hinata. Someday, I'll be stronger than him, and I'll prove to everyone that I can protect him. Him and everyone else in Hashido. I'll be cheering you on, Hinata. Thanks. Coming from you, that gives me a lot of confidence in my work. Hope you'll continue to practice with me. Of course. Well, but yeah. Korn is smart but stupid, best education in Nor, but has literally never seen the world beyond his house. I mean, he grew up with a lot of flashbangs, to say the least. This time I'm going to nail it. I'm going to make a perfect cup of tea for Jacob. So, first I, and then I... hot! Feeling hot. Are you alright, Lord Harmonia? I'm fine. The kettle boiled over is all. Don't look so worried, Jacob. I can make a pot of tea in my sleep. So you have said, but... Forgive me for observing that you have not once managed it since our lessons began. And that'll be enough truth out of you, mister. You have to at least admit I'm getting better at handling the kettle, though. All I need to learn now is how to keep the tea from going bitter. Right, but I'm afraid we'll run out of tea leaves first. And by we, I mean the nation. Perhaps we should spend more time just watching me make tea. Then, after a while, you can stop practicing on your own again? But I don't want to get in your way while you're working, Jacob. Thank you, but to be honest, worrying about you is the bigger drain on my time. What? How so? Look to your left. When we started talking, I had washed all the dishes, but now there's another mountain of them. God, it's like a sheer cliff face of stemware. Stemware? I've actually never seen that word before. I'm sorry, Jacob. Now, may I please just make the tea so I can tame the savage dish beast sooner? You know what? No. Go wash the dishes, and I will make the tea. I can do this. My apologies. I had forgotten just how stubborn you can be. I'm not listening, but I can still hear you. Alright, time to ignore Jacob and get back to this perfect tea in the making. Fine. May I at least check your tea when it is finished? I suppose this is a bit pointless if I don't make it the way you like. Alright, Jacob, it's finished. I think I got it this time. Probably. I shall be the judge of that. First, to examine the color of the tea, and secretly add some sugar and hot water. Well done, Lord Harmonia. The color is passable. Let's have a cup together. This is so silly, but I'm really nervous. It's just tea, though. Hey, why did I interpret the freaking sip as a sniffle and I just immediately... Whatever. Hey, it's not bitter. Ah, delicious. Good work, Lord Harmonia. You are now certified to make a pot of tea. Wonderful. I'm going to go find some other people to try it as well. Do be careful running with that hot kettle. I think I managed to cover up the bitterness. Even if it's a little bitter, everyone will gladly drink a cup of tea that he's made. Hope I haven't made a terrible mistake. Well, so the support's in this game, huh? Alright, we got the freaking last few here to go through and such. What a bummer. Is it really just the two of us? Yep, you and I were the only two that failed strategy. They told me, Setsuna, there are many things that come naturally to you, but working in a group is definitely not one of them. Yeah, they said something like that to me too. Hana, you work well on your own, but it all falls apart when you're with a team. Guess I tend to take the initiatives without thinking. I guess we're very similar. I suppose so. Hey, why don't we form a study group for university? We can work to cover the areas we're both weak in. I think that's a great idea. How shall we start? What about reading those strategy books they gave us? Yeah, let's do that. I think there were some useful tactics mentioned in Chapter 5. Chapter 5, the chapter you can first start grinding in Fire Emblem Awakening. After you beat Chapter 4. Hey, Setsuna, let's go practice our swordplay outside instead of doing this. You know, to change things up. Great idea. I was just thinking I'd like to go hunting and get some fresh air. Alright, we'll just take a little break, then back to studying. What, are they going to procrastinate and that's going to be what this set of support conversations is all about? Yeah, it looks like Sakura and Saizo can support here. I failed. I might have made it out of enemy territory, but they'll find me soon with these injuries. I'm too badly hurt to drag myself the rest of the way to camp. I almost made it, but this is as far as I go. Oh well. Saizo? Can't see in this darkness. If you're an enemy, come to finish me. Do it quickly. No, it's just me. It's Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Please, Sakura. How? Oh no, you're hurt. Just wait just one moment and I'll heal you. There's no time. My pursuers might catch up to me at any moment. What do you do, Saizo? Go quickly. I must get back to camp. But I can't just leave you here to die. This will only take a second if you'll please sit still. If anything happens to you, how will I ever look Lord Ryoma in the eye again? Lady Sakura. Sorry. It just occurred to me it won't matter if you can look him in the eye when you're dead. I forgot this was a line in this game. I'm laughing because it occurred to me it won't matter if you can look him in the eye when you're dead. From the freaking youngest person in this army, the child here. I guess I'm a little punchy. No comment. Please stop squirming. We need to get back to camp together. Fair enough. well, there's that. Look, we made it through all the support conversations, and we did all the friendship seal reclassing stuff that I wanted to for now. Stuff. Oh my goodness, how long was that? Over 2 hours of reading support conversations. I'm gonna take another swig of water, is what I'm gonna do really quickly. Some more water real quick. My goodness gracious. I feel like Fire Emblem Fates has got to be the most reading I've ever done in a playthrough in my life. Like, in Fire Emblem Awakening, we just had to get through the support conversations that were like supporting people. And this game, we got to get through those, which you already have, and then through like the A+ supports. That's all I did this entire stream. Yeah, reading. That's all it's been so far. Now we can go do a map. We can go play the game now. Is what we can do. Now we can actually go play the video game.